Buster Olney is down there on the field right in the middle of what has been a huge celebration here in Arlington for their Texas Rangers coming off their first World Series in franchise history. And the optimism in Texas is as high as it's ever been, given that they just won last year. They've made some tweaks to this team. They bring in a very, very young Wyatt Langford, who was playing for the Florida Gators last year in the other World Series, the College World Series. But there is an immense amount of confidence as we continue with the opening ceremonies. Governor Greg Abbott has got the ceremonial first pitch baseball in his right hand. We will see one of the all-time great Texas Rangers come out to catch tonight's ceremonial first pitch. That'll be Pudge Rodriguez. And here he comes. Like so many of the great former Rangers that we all grew up, you guys playing against and covering with Michael Young and Pudge Rodriguez, Mark Teixeira, of course, all celebrating in that championship. Greg Abbott will hand the ceremonial first pitch baseball to a super fan. His name is Michael Carter, and for 49 years he has been a season ticket holder. He gets the opportunity tonight as they celebrate the championship on opening night to throw out the ceremonial first pitch to Pudge Rodriguez. Waiting for the sign is Michael Carter. We are set. Let's go. You don't get this opportunity very often. This is milking the moment.
No pitch clock before the game.
No pitch clock is right. And he throws a strike. And with that, we are just about set to start opening night here in Texas. The World Series champion Rangers and the Chicago Cubs.
There are two words that belong to baseball. No, it ain't turn two, walk off, hot dogs, or Cracker Jacks. It's been said Cy Young spoke these words long before the Babe called his shot. Two words belted through the eras and launched every shining star. And now, it's not Juan Gone, Mr. Cub, or the Unicorn. This game is always moving, evolving, but the heart of the game stays the same because of two words. On opening day, those words tell Rangers fans, we're going back to back. And it tells everyone else, this is our year. And who knows what we'll get? Perfect game, triple crown, triple play, grand slam, hit streak, moonshot, broken bat, circus catch, extra innings, curtain call. Well, nothing happens. I mean nothing until we hear these two words. Play ball.
There are no two better words at all, and thank you to William H. Macy. You'll see him in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes from 20th Century Studios. That will be exclusively in theaters on May 10th. It's March 28th, and the Major League Baseball season is already underway. It's about to get started for the Texas Rangers, the World Series champions, and the Chicago Cubs. Welcome. So happy to be back alongside my partners, Eduardo Perez and David Cohen. Of course, Buster Olney is down there on the field. It is so hard to do. You had an opportunity to do it a number of times. Bruce Bochy, 3 times with the Giants. Couldn't do it. What's the secret sauce to repeating, to running it back?
Well, you got to have the stars aligned, right? A little bit of luck on your side, but it starts at the top. You know, we had Joe Torre back in the 90s, the type of leader who commanded respect. He didn't demand respect. Bochy's in that category. We had a superstar at shortstop. The Rangers got a superstar at shortstop in Corey Seager. So if you think about it, you know, it's about the overall depth, the wellness of the team, the health, but your superstars have to perform, and a manager that commands respect and doesn't demand it and really owns that clubhouse. And then obviously the overall depth of the pitching staff. And a guy who does it pretty well in postseason, Nathan Eovaldi, is going to try to get them on to a good start.
He was incredible last October. Good players, check. Good health to be seen, and good luck, always a mystery. On the other side, they have a good manager now in Craig Counsell. They had one in David Ross. Why the change? What can he do to get them over the hump?
Well, the change was easy for Craig Counsell after he gets offered 5 years, $40 million, a record for managers. But most importantly, he sees the talent on this team, and he sees a high IQ. And it all starts up the middle with his defense when you have Dansby Swanson up the middle. But most importantly, he has a very talented player in Seiya Suzuki. And I asked him earlier, I said, who's your best player? He pointed at this guy right here. Why? Because after August 9th, this guy was a superstar. And then you have an ace, and that's Justin Steele. We're going to see him, and I think a lot of the country's going to appreciate how good Justin Steele is on the mound.
We get a chance to see him, Nathan Eovaldi, the Cubs and the Rangers. Thursday night, opening night here on ESPN. Game 1 of 162. The title defense for the World Series champion Rangers starts right now. Their creed, run it back, or go and take it higher. Welcome back. Nate Eovaldi, 34 years young, on the mound, getting loose down on the field. Buster Olney with another young addition to the Rangers.
Yeah, Carl, the Texas Rangers are the defending champions. They have superstars like Marcus Semien and Corey Seager, and yet the most talked about player in their spring training camp, Wyatt Langford, 22 years old. He's making his major league debut tonight. Someone who impressed them all last year and through spring training with an OPS over 1,100. Craig Counsell said you just don't see 22-year-olds with that kind of strength. Bruce Bochy compared his mental makeup to that of Buster Posey, somebody he managed in San Francisco. gives you some indication of how high the expectations are for this player.
Yeah, and Buster, Bochy went into spring training with every expectation that Wyatt Langford was going to be part of his opening day lineup, and he is. On the other side, the starting lineup for Craig Counsell looks like this. Eduardo's already talked about Suzuki and what they hope they'll get from him. Bellinger signed late. Morel is light tower power, who got in the cleanup spot, but he'll DH. And then it's Dansby Swanson, the regular shortstop. Two phenomenal shortstops on the field tonight with Swanson and Seager. And Nico Horner and Madrigal will play at third. Jan Gomes, 7, 8, 9. Meantime, eight different starters last 8 seasons as Eovaldi gets set to throw to Ian Happ. Ranger season underway. Happ first pitch swinging, popped it up sky high. Carter is in left, calls off Seager. One pitch, one out. We'll set the defense behind Eovaldi with Carter in left. At third base, it's Josh Young, who did not get a lot of time during spring. He had a sprained left calf. Neither did Seager, for that matter. Semien is at second. Ezekiel Duran will play first, while Lowy is out. Adolis Garcia in right, Taveras in center, and Jonah Heim, the Gold Glover, behind the plate. Seiya Suzuki looks at a first pitch, fastball at 97, and it's 1-0. It's in there. So Suzuki had an unbelievable spring, which piggybacked on the second half to last year. And there are several people who have him in the MVP conversation. The 1-1 right back up the middle. It went off the ankle of Eovaldi, and he will throw him out. It was hit 103 miles an hour.
And the first thing Nathan does is look into the dugout and say, "You guys stay right there, I'm okay." Seiya Suzuki gets fastball away, breaking pitch, and one right back up the middle, hit hard. A tough out, but I see you grimacing, Coney. You brings back a little flashbacks, right?
Yes, I've still got scars on my shins from all the line drives I gave up back up the box.
Here is Cody Bellinger. The Rangers shift Seager towards second base. First pitch off speed in there, strike one. It's Chad Fairchild who's calling balls and strikes. Bellinger signed late last year, a phenomenal year in Chicago with 26 home runs. Near 100 RBI. Side, 1-1 strike. It felt in the offseason like it was a perfect match. Like, bring him back when he's most comfortable.
Exactly, and a sigh of relief when it finally happened towards the end of the session.
1-1, go check third, and no.
It was his teammates that were lobbying for him as well. I mean, they were pretty vocal about it beginning of spring training. Why is Bellinger not here in uniform?
You know, the thing about Bellinger, too, is, and you guys are well aware of this, but he's an all-around ball player. Positional versatility he gives you, center field, first base.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the evaluations were centered around his exit velocity last year, and was it real or not? And is this resurgence sustainable or not? But he certainly showed that he could cut down his swing, put the ball in play with 2 strikes. Get big hits.
Hard hit rate was in the 10th percentile. And Eovaldi on a 2-1. That's fouled off 2 balls, 2 strikes. He had a 91-point gap, did Bellinger, between his slugging, which was .525, and the expected slugging.
But I think this is where he was great with 2 strikes. Nobody in baseball was better than Bellinger. Hit .279 with 2 strikes last season.
Well, here's Eovaldi's 2-2. This one is rocketed to right field. Garcia going back at the track, reaches up and makes a nice catch. Nathan Eovaldi, 9 pitches and a kick save and a beauty. We'll see the defending World Series champions come to the plate for the first time. Good play, Garcia, a Gold Glover in right. On ESPN, telecast presented by Scott's Feed Your Lawn. Feed it. The red-haired guy who does that commercial does such a good job that you almost feel bad saying feed it. Just let him do that. Starting lineup looks this way, and again, you circle Wyatt Langford in the 5 spot. So consider he played 64 games last year for the Florida Gators and only 44 at the minor league level to get to the majors.
Yeah, and Coach Kevin O'Sullivan from the Florida Gators, the head coach, he said this guy was ready for the big leagues as a junior in college.
Well, this guy right here on the mound, the lefty, has become one of the best left-handed starters in the National League.
Yeah, he throws the first pitch right in there. It was a fastball, and he will not break the radar gun. That was 91, but all sorts of movement for Justin Steele. He's 28 years old. 2 pitches, the fastball and the slider cutter that basically act as about 4 or 5 different pitches.
They really do. There is some subtle nuance to his game, and he knows what he's doing. He can manipulate the baseball and make the ball move right to left or left to right.
I think it's really interesting with Steele, the approach that you have to take against him. He's a lot like an Al Leiter back in the day, where he used to cut the ball and used to pitch a lot on the inside part of the plate against right-handed hitters.
The 2-1. And a little bit high. It goes 3-1.
Keep looking. As a hitter, you have to select. You want to hit the pitch away or in. Where are you going to look? Against Steele, I think you have to look in and try to keep the ball fair.
3-1 pitch. That's in there for a strike. Top of the zone. Elite defense behind Justin Steele, especially up the middle with Swanson and Horner at short and second. And today they have Madrigal, another good defensive player at third base, not Morel. Swing and a miss. Good battle back for Justin Steele. He punches out Marcus Semien to get rolling.
Appreciate that K-zone. And watch where he locates most of his pitches. Cut that plate in half. Most of the time against the right-handed hitters, it'll be to the glove side.
You get hitters walking back to the dugout going, was that a slider, a cutter? What was it? It's almost like smoke and mirrors out there.
Nobody swings at first pitches more than Corey Seager, and a rare swing and a miss for a guy that in the zone he has a stat named after him, right? I mean, hard hit, barrel rate within the strike zone. They call it a Seager. OPS plus at 170. And the 0-1. He succeeded basically against every pitch type in 2023, from a 4-seam fastball through the slider to the sweeper. See that OPS in the upper left. Fouls one back. World Series MVP, second time that he won that. And had sports hernia surgery January 30th. He's gone. Steele slippery to get 2 punch-outs here against Simeon and Seager.
It's perfectly located and executed.
He mixed up the pitches really well. It's the second strike that Seager's going to go back and say that's the one he missed to put himself in a disadvantage count.
Another thing is he's so consistent with his release point. Every pitch looks the same out of his hand.
And he works quickly. First one inside to Josh Young at 92. So Seager and Young didn't play a ton during spring training. Young says he is comfortable. He will be wearing the microphone a little bit later for us as he gets jammed there and he fouls it straight back. He too had an excellent postseason, hitting over 300. 3 homers, 3 doubles. Fielding continued to improve, like many Rangers dealt with injury last season. That's in there for a strike before seeing fastball at 93.
So good when he keeps throwing that pitch in there. Nick Madrigal at third base. They want defense over offense. He's going to get a lot of action if the ball's hit to him. And when there's a lefty on the mound, I remember John Smiley told me, play the line. Give him the 6-5, give him the 5-6 hole. Play the line.
Fastball again elevated. By the end of the year last year, Young was seeing a whole lot more sliders than he was in the beginning of the year. March, April, May, about 28%. September and October was up to almost 50% sliders.
Get a lot of swings like this off of Steele because of the late life on his pitches.
'16th pitch, first inning. Steele already 2 strikeouts. Missed low, 3-2. 5th round pick, 2014, out of George County High School, Bluesdale, Mississippi. He had Tommy John surgery, did Steele, in 2017. And it was really the summer of 2020, the COVID shutdown year, where he became a phenomenal pitcher, working with the Cubs at their development camp. And his confidence has since gone through the roof.
Yeah, you can tell he's really worked on his mechanics, predominantly pitching from the stretch position. As you can see there, he's closed, he's very compact.
3-2 foul.
That's allowed him to do 2 things extremely well. One is cut down his walk rate over the last couple of years and also keep the ball in the ballpark. That's a great combination for any starting pitcher.
Sure is. Got a good battle going with Josh Young. 9th pitch of this plate appearance, and he missed him. Young will be the first base runner for the Rangers as he draws the walk, and that brings up Adolis Garcia.
This could be a tough matchup for Adolis because he loves the ball middle of the way. Very successful last year driving the ball, but has to get those arms extended.
He's also got an early candidate for the best zapatos in the game right there. Look at those shoes. Wow. Sweet.
I got a pair of those at home.
Gets the call on the inside. Do they act as a nightlight at home for you, Eduardo? You leave next to the bed? What a remarkable postseason this guy had before he got hurt in the World Series. As he watches another one buried down and in. Count goes in his favor. .323, 8 homers, 22 RBIs, which was the most in a single postseason. Went away, and he gets the call.
It's a little show me pitch away, but right now I'm Adolis Garcia. I'm selling in the entire time.
Pretty in pink, right on the black.
Adolis will use his timeout. up to 22 RBIs. They won the World Series in 5. He got hurt in Game 3, so he missed a couple of games and still had a record-setting number of RBIs. He rolls one to third. That's fielded by Madrigal across the diamond, and Adolis Garcia is thrown out. We are through 1, and it is 0-0 here at Globe Life, home of the champions. They unveiled the flag tonight here at Globe Life as ESPN's telecast of opening night baseball is presented by Scotts. Feed your lawn, feed it. And in Texas, they are feeling it. Banging their chest with pride, they're World Series champions on the field. And our first Sunday night baseball matchup of the season, Nolan Arenado, the Cardinals, will wrap up their series against Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, and the Dodgers. Our coverage starts with baseball tonight, Sunday night countdown at 6 Eastern, and it's available on Deportes and ESPN Radio. This one is smoked to left field, and that turns Carter around. He will leap and not be able to make the catch. And Christopher Morel hits second, and he's coming to third. And he beats it with a triple off the wall from Morel.
Love it. Love everything about Morel on that one. Aggressive from the beginning, but most importantly, it was the base running. As soon as he made contact, he knew that Carter had to make a great play, and he was thinking 2, but as soon as he has the play in front of him, he's his own base coach. He doesn't have to look at third base. That's what you do, rounding second. You see where you're at. Carter picks up the ball, and to his surprise, Morel's diving into third.
There is that power, and that's the third ball, guys, that has been hit off Eovaldi over 100 miles an hour. Suzuki, Bellinger, and Morel. The infield is up for Texas. To Swanson, and it's smothered by the Gold Glover Heim.
Watch Morel right here. He picks it up. He doesn't have to look at the coach. He's his own coach. Not supposed to make that first out at third, but if you know you can get in there, that's on you. Love the aggressiveness early.
And now Swanson has been as consistent as any shortstop offensively and defensively in the game as he swings and fouls off 96. As we played 147 games last season, an all-star, Gold Glove. Trying to drive in the first run with Morel and nobody out at third. Swing and a miss. Good pitch on the corner, a splitter at 89.
Dansby Swanson's a very good fastball hitter. Top 2 fastball hitters you could say in the game are right here also for the Cubs. Nico Hoerner and Dansby Swanson.
And he will get the job done as he drives one to right center field. This one is deep enough, certainly to get Morel in. All the way to the track goes Taveras. It's 1-0 Cubs after the Morel triple. Then the sac fly for Swanson.
Pretty good adjustment right there. Back-to-back splitters. Swung and missed the first one. Drilled the second one.
It's another ball hit over 100 miles per hour. Watch where the location is down, but he uses his legs really well. And he's not thinking pull. He's thinking in, let's drive a run. Stay up the middle.
Well, that's digging it out right there. Splitter below the zone.
Yeah, and hitting it far, man. That thing went 370 feet. First pitch to Michael Busch, who was acquired from the Dodgers with Yency Almonte, now up. He's the first baseman. The Counsell was telling us before the game they really think he's going to be solid at first base. Missed away. So the Chicago Cubs break through first on a Morel triple, then a Swanson sac fly RBI. Busch followed by Horner and Madrigal. Way outside.
Cowboys play right up the road here. And these outfielders for the Rangers, they've got some yards already that they've run down.
4 balls hit over 100 miles an hour against Eovaldi. 3-0, and Busch watches the 4th one go by. It's a 4-pitch walk to Michael Busch. Busch, a candidate, change of scenery guy from Los Angeles, all sorts of promise as a prospect, never could click it in.
Opportunity knocks with the Cubs because he will get a nice chance here to find out what he can do on the big league level.
And now Nico Horner, the second baseman. Oh, he doesn't get the low strike call. A little frustration on the mound. Horner had a very good year offensively and defensively last year. The 175 hits led the team. Eovaldi looking for a ground ball. Whoa, look out.
Mr. Harris
Took him down quick. Yeah, that's right. Get up. Well, you got it.
Get out of the way there.
98-mile-an-hour rocket. They're hitting Eovaldi hard.
How fast is his heart beating right now? What do you think?
100 miles an hour. This could be a double play. Semien, Seager turns it. Hard if they hit it, hard if they hit it at you. 400-mile-an-hour batted balls, more than Eovaldi allowed through 2 innings in any game last year.
For the Rangers, the designated hitter, number 36, Wyatt Langford.
Story of the spring for the Texas Rangers. One of the big stories in baseball during the spring was this kid who comes from Florida. Started with the Gators, hit some monster home runs in Omaha last year during the World Series, and played 44 games at the minor league level before he gets called up. And he hits the DH spot, and he looks at ball one. He and Evan Carter, 22 and under rookies, who will get some significant playing time, and he will move to the outfield over the course of this opening series. Next one on the corner for a strike. He is built like Trout. There's some Bregman in him. You heard Buster make the comparison to Buster Posey as far as his mental acuity.
If you look at the arms, they look a lot like Paul Goldschmidt's. Big wrists.
What did counsel say?
Big forearms.
22-year-olds don't look like that.
Got some horseshoes on the back of his arm.
Good pitch inside. He's moving the ball all around. Justin Steele, 2 strikeouts in the first inning, and now even with Langford 2-2. Just missed. Azone said it had a sliver. Count full. Wyatt Langford called out on strikes. He thought he was going to first on a walk. Instead, it's the 3rd strikeout for Steele.
You talk about the deception coming off of the slider. You can see it 92 miles an hour with a little life. You can see a little off-center spin. That's got a slight little boring cut action on it, but plenty of plate.
That was a resignation to I'm going back to the bench, not first base. And here's Heim. Big swing at 82. The slider can go from 80 to 88 miles an hour. How unique is that?
It is. I mean, in today's game, we talk a lot about the chase for velocity. Right here, you have a prime example of an old school craftsman.
Right back up the middle on a couple of hops. Corner.
We'll illustrate a little further, Carl, here. We'll take a look on the arm side movement. You can see there 21%, and then the other side of the plate, the glove side movement at 79%. And then what's going on here? Is he throwing a cutter, or is it a slider, or is it a sweeper? And that's the nuance and the craftsmanship we're talking about. They all kind of look the same. They all come out of the same slot, but they do something different.
2 quick ones, and Ezekiel Duran at 90 swings and misses.
But you see what he does right here. Ezekiel Duran pitches middle away, right in the strike zone. After that, Justin Steele's going to stay now in. Gets you to look away right into his game plan. And now he'll start creeping, taking a little bit off. That breaking pitch looks like a changeup just with a change of velocity. Then he can speed it up again inside.
That's a great point. Away for show, inside for dough. We've watched his confidence grow over the last couple of years. Immense, tremendous presence on the mound.
Boy, what a performance so far from Justin Steele. 4 punch-outs through 2 innings of work. He gets Duran. We'll talk with Josh Young as he puts the microphone and earpiece in and heads to the field. You can ask him a question. Hashtag AskSNB. Early 90s, remember Dallas, a wildly popular television soap opera, Dallas? The 24 Rangers may become known as the Young and the Restless, given both Evan Carter and Wyatt Langford are each under 23 years old. They could also be known as the Old and the Beautiful. Bochy's 68, and of course, he's leading the World Series champs. Another world. The Rangers won 11 straight on the road in the postseason. As they search for tomorrow, these are the days of their lives. It's Dallas, definitely. Is it a dynasty? Maybe. One of the cornerstones of what could be a dynasty. Time will tell. As the man at third base, Josh Jung. Last name is spelled J-U-N-G, but it's pronounced Young. And you got some babies on this team, Josh, with Langford and Carter. Tell people at home what it's been.
Let's go, baby.
What it's been like to have Wyatt Langford around.
I mean, I lived with him in spring training. It was a lot of fun. Young talent like that, it's just incredible how calm, how confident he is. You know, he got drafted, what, seven months ago, so it's quite incredible what he's done so far.
We'll start with Madrigal, followed by Gomes, as Eovaldi throws the first one. And he swings, sends it towards the line and right, and it will listen to you and go foul. So how does that work? You lived with him. What was that like? You know, you didn't know him before, or did you?
No, I didn't. He got drafted. He came and hit BP with us, and that's when I met him. But I reached out to him. I wanted him to live with me in spring training, and it ended up working out. And it was a great time, truly. Cooked dinner for him, and he didn't complain about it. So that's step number one, right?
Is there a Felix and Oscar? Is y'all clean?
Yeah, our house was actually pretty clean. If anyone was dirty, I left probably a bat or a ball or something somewhere, but he was super clean. He was taking the trash out too and everything. It was sweet.
The 0-2 from Eovaldi against the 8-hitter Madrigal. Bounced it. Now, you're like Tom Cruise in the movie. Do you walk around with a bat? Do you think better with a bat in your hand?
Man, you never know when a thought's going to pop into your head, and you need to find a mirror and try to feel it out. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need that moment with your bat. Help me, Vo. Come on, baby.
All right, so you tell me, Josh, from World Series championship to now, like, what's that ride been like? What are things that happened that maybe you didn't expect?
Those first 2 weeks are amazing. You're on top of the world. Celebrating with the guys, that last little hoorah before everyone goes their separate way, that was just incredible. Oh, I'm gonna get a ground ball for you guys.
Hello, baby.
Perfect.
That boy, Evo.
Perfect.
Man, maybe I'll need to be in my ear more often.
Amen to that.
That boy, Evo. Get ahead, pound zone. Let's go, baby. I didn't even think about it right there.
We were not in your ear while you were doing that. We're practiced at this. We ain't gonna interfere with you or anybody else out there.
I love it.
Good play.
Appreciate you guys.
And now Yan Gomes.
Is this what you usually do? Just a lot of jabber, a lot of moving around?
What I'm doing right now, moving around, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to anticipate, trying to give myself the best opportunity and chance to make a play for Evo. Kind of doing like pre-game report cards and that kind of stuff. Kind of knowing the hitter's tendencies. I don't know what Adolis was thinking right there. Hitter tendencies and
figured basket catch.
I got a good relationship with our infield coach, and he'll nudge me one way or the other. Get ahead, pound zone. Let's go, baby.
Hey, Josh, here's a question from a fan. Fan question. In 5 years, the better ball player, you or your little brother?
Oh, I'm going to have to go me, but he's a stud, man. The only thing I'll say is I'm a better Fortnite player, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Go get it. That's me.
Oh, love those. All right, guys, I appreciate it.
Very impressive. That's a new record for us. 2 out of the 3 outs by the guy wearing the microphone. Thanks, Josh.
Yep, thank you, guys.
You got it. Smooth, man. Silky and smooth. Season at MLBShop.com. Check out the largest selection of official jerseys, caps, t-shirts, collectibles, and more. Gear up with your favorite team at MLBShop.com. Well, Josh Young, right out of the gate, moves into all-star category for microphone wearers. The first pitch swung at, popped sky high towards the roof at Globe Life. Carter retired on one pitch. Carter was batting third a lot last year and moved down to eighth. There's a little vulnerability to lefties. He's 1 for 20 last year in the end of it with 10 strikeouts. And of course, Steele, one of the best in the game. Leody Taveras looks at one that's called the ball that K-Zone really liked. Breakout offensive season for him last year with the 14 homers, 67 RBIs, and a stolen base threat at the bottom. Feels like what Bochy's going to do is take Taveras and Garcia, get him a break, get him off his feet, use Langford in a variety of positions in the outfield as he settles in.
Have to keep him moving around. Not everybody is suited to be a designated hitter. Guys do not like to be designated hitters, but when you have that much talent on the bench and you need some of the rest, you end up having to rotate a lot of talent without giving up defense, because those guys are elite out there.
And same with the Cubs. You've got Bellinger out there, as you mentioned, Coney. We all know he played first base. They got Pete Crow Armstrong down there, who's already a dynamite outfielder. On the 1-2, see you later. High fastball gets him. Strikeout number 5 for Justin Steele. And that turns the order around, and here comes Marcus Semien, and if he gets on, followed by Corey Seager. The OPS by middle infield, you look at Altuve, Correa, Utley, and J-Roll in 07 for the Phillies, and then of course what these two guys did last year with an 899 OPS. Semien swings at the first one, fouls it off. That was really the story of him in the postseason last year. Remember all the first pitch swings, and didn't make too many adjustments during the postseason, but what a year Marcus Semien had. He, Seager, and Ohtani, they go 1, 2, 3 in the MVP voting. And this one to right. It is going to stay up for Suzuki. Another quick inning. Steele is mowing them down. 8 pitches to get through it. We're a third of the way done. It's the Cubs 1 and the Rangers nothing. Seiya Suzuki was benched for about 4 or 5 days, and after that, this was a different guy. He became a little more aggressive in the strike zone. The numbers went off the charts, and he ended last year on a white-hot pace. You see the OPS there of 1,086. He slashed 370, 434, 685 in September and October. That was a weighted run created plus of 196. Eovaldi tries to get one on the corner, but he misses. 1-0.
This guy's built like a Mack truck. Got up close to him during batting practice. And he has a very good idea of what he wants to do each round. Hitting the ball the other way early, manipulating the ball real well, and a lot of pop, and it sounds different coming off his bat.
If there's any carryover from the spring to the regular season, Suzuki wants it. That's in there for a strike. I mean, it was like a 459, 513, 1,081 slash with a 306 WRC play. Like, you can't keep that up, but boy, it feels good to come back from the Cactus League thinking I'm feeling it.
You're trying to figure out what his ceiling is. How good can he really be over here?
The 1-2, that's way outside.
4 of his last 6 seasons in Japan before coming to the United States, he had an OPS of over 1,000. Dominated that league. He was actually even a better hitter than Shohei Ohtani was.
2-2 popped up center field to Veras. There to make the play. It's a walk to Bush. Eovaldi's retired 5 in a row. And here comes Cody Bellinger. He flew out to right his first time up. And his dad worked an awful lot while the contract was being worked out. And he swings and sends this one towards the seats down the third baseline. Some benefits to having a former major leaguer work with you.
His father is a fantastic athlete, could play all over the field.
How long did it take you, Eduardo? We've talked about Seager and Young. Bellinger kind of comes late. Like, how long does it take you in spring to feel like you're comfortable, like I'm ready to go for the season, or does it happen during the beginning of the season?
Well, 40 at-bats is what usually, when it comes to the offensive standpoint, for a lot of players. Some will say 50, but some will say just give me a couple reps, even at minor league camp, start off a couple innings, and you get 25 at-bats.
Huge bounce back year for Bellinger, and now back with Chicago. On a team that really feels like they can be competitive, if not win the Central. And he rockets one towards Semien, who's there to make the play, and he throws him out on a couple of hops.
The contrast in styles on the mound. Eovaldi, 4-pitch pitcher. 50% fastballs. Really hard to sort of predict what he's going to throw with 4 different pitches.
They keep working on Morel's defense, but he's in the lineup tonight as a DH because of his offense, and they will play him at third base because you need his offense. Triple tonight. He scored the run on the sac fly from Swanson. Big swing there and a foul. This was the triple, man. When he gets running downhill, he's hard to stop, and he is fast, as Carter saw it bounce all the way back towards the infield. It is powered by StatCast and Google Cloud with a sprint speed of 28.5 miles an hour.
Again, really impressive first pitch slider in the last at bat, and he just was all over that. Bat had stayed in the zone a long time. Was able to recognize, and I love this. with 2 strikes, slowing it down, just taking that deep breath, relaxed bottom lip.
28.5 was feet per second. And the 1-2. And he's going to have another hit. Sends one back up the middle. Morel 2 for 2 with a triple and a single.
When he first came up, it was Wilson Contreras that was always on top of him. Relax, take a deep breath. And we saw right there when he got to 2 strikes, he took that deep breath, slowed everything down, and was able to get some barrel on that one and get it for a base hit. Strong enough to do so.
Council knows him. He beat the Brewers in extras in a walk-off in June. Now aboard for the second time, and Eovaldi's first pitch, cutter misses down and away to Dansby Swanson.
Nathan Eovaldi's always thrown hard, but he always was known for not getting a lot of swings and misses, and so far just 1 swing and miss that he's had in this game.
And when Eovaldi first came up, he was a 100-mile-an-hour guy. And it was when the analytics and the high-speed cameras were first coming into play, and his spin rate wasn't very high on that 4-seamer. So that sort of showed us the difference between velocity and life.
Yeah, and over the years, he hasn't lost a ton of velocity. I mean, it's come down, but he hasn't lost a ton.
Now, he really has added extension, though, as you look here in 2019, as far as how closely you release the ball to home plate. Look at it now in 2023, a gain of from 6 feet 2 inches to 6 feet 9 inches. That's a big difference. Releasing the ball closer to home plate, less reaction time for the hitter.
A little high. You brought up the point when you look at the mound, especially from where we are, 3.5 miles up here in the air. You look down, you see 2 different landing spots. One is Eovaldi's, which is, what do you think, 4 inches ahead of where Steele would land?
Yes, you can see right there, Eovaldi's is the one closest to the screen. Steele lands a little bit. He's a little bit of a crossfire, the lefty. His hole dug out in front, which is a big deal for a pitcher. The hole you dig out by the mound and the rubber, and then where you land, that's your office.
Do they both use the same spot to push off from, or no?
Similar.
Okay. 2-2. Bounced another one, 3-2. Extensions become a very big part of pitching, and people emphasizing the closer you can let the ball go towards the batter, obviously the advantage goes to you even more.
Yeah, less reaction time, less recognition time as well.
Filthy pitch away, 90-mile-an-hour splitter. Eovaldi, he picks up the strikeout. René Eovaldi, strikeout number 1. Bottom 4 coming up on the heart of the Rangers order, deep in the heart of Texas.
Craig Counsell, what's this day like for you as you make this transition?
Well, opening day is an awesome day no matter what, and you know, I've been with these guys now for 5 months, so it feels all good, and just excited to be here for opening day. What have you learned about Justin Steele now that you're managing him that you didn't know being on the other side? Yeah, I think of him as a really clear-headed competitor. He keeps it simple. He's great at what he's good at what he's great at, and he doesn't get off that. And he throws a ball that it doesn't do the same thing every single pitch, and that makes it really hard for hitters.
Craig, thanks. Back to you, Carl.
Well, his last 21 pitches, including the one he just threw to Corey Seager, his last 21 pitches, guys, have produced 8 outs. Young swings at the first one. There seems to be a pattern here, Eduardo, as a hitter, going after the first one.
They keep going after the first pitch in the zone, and sometimes, and I get it, swing at a strike, but you have to swing at a strike in the location that you want it. And it just seems like their pitches up in the zone, they're swinging at it. Pitches down in the zone, they're swinging at it. You have to pick a spot, especially against a guy that is playing around your weaknesses.
Steele's agent, by the way, is Sam Samardzija, who is the brother, of course, of the last homegrown pitcher to become an All-Star for the Cubs, Jeff Samardzija. He was traded before that 2014 game. But Sam says, you know, the growth path isn't always a straight line for pitchers, and he and Steele give the Cubs a lot of credit for being patient with him, kind of sticking with him. It's paid off for both he and the organization. He got an 0-2 count here, and Young fouls another one off.
Well, I think we're just scratching the surface on some of the technology that's been put in play, especially for pitchers. The high-speed cameras are getting so much better. The analyzation of the spin, the ability for pitchers to pitch design and analyze that spin and get real-time information really is exceptional.
Really interesting. The last few pitches against Josh Young, he's tried to come in and has not. Everything has stayed arm side.
Young worked a walk, 9 pitches in his first at bat. He's causing Steele some frustration in this at bat. Now 7 pitches in. Steele was a 5th rounder, 139th pick overall. He missed again. Really good eye and good takes there by Young. Last year, that guy right there threw 173 in a 3rd inning, and he struck out 176. Struck out more than innings pitched and gave up fewer hits than innings pitched. And Young a rocket to right field. This one is towards the line. It's going to get down. Young, Suzuki fires in. Double Josh Young. Two good at bats for Young, who has reached twice.
During this at bat, this was the one that I believe Steele to struggle a little bit. Everything stayed arm side, tried to force it, and Young, give him a lot of credit, brings those hands in on a pitch in and is able to drive it the other way. He's not trying to pull, lets it go deep, still in control of that bat head.
It's got to be the microphone.
Late there on 91. He had retired 8 in a row prior to that Young at bat. Counsell alluded to it in the interview, guys. You think you know and you think you see what he's throwing, but none of it matches up. So many guys go back to the bench shaking their head. 0-1 to Garcia. Ripped off the body of Morel. Swanson picks it up. He's got no play. He looked to first, couldn't do it. Looked to third. I should say Madrigal, not Morel, off of his body. They're going to give a hit, a hard hit ball to Garcia at 106.
That's great base running right there by Josh Young. That's understanding where the ball is. Watch him and his reaction. Ball's at the third. He freezes, and as soon as he sees the ball goes away, he knows there's no one at third base vacated. So now runner's in the corner. Takes a look, takes a jab step back, then hustles to third.
Madrigal had no chance. The only guy that had any chance to get there was going to be Steele. Rangers got a little something cooking here with Langford. He swings at the first one and fouls it off. What an opportunity now for the rookie Wyatt Langford here in the 4th inning of his first ever Major League game. Just 22 years old.
And guys, what his teammates have really learned about him this spring is he makes incredible adjustments in their eyes from pitch to pitch, from plate appearance to plate appearance. Tim Hires, the hitting coach, told me he's someone who, if he's beaten with a pitch, he's going to make an adjustment and anticipate in the next pitch what the guy's going to throw.
1-1, drives this one to center. Bellinger goes over towards right. He's there in front of Suzuki. Tagging is Young. Wyatt Langford's got his first Major League RBI. He plates Young, and it's 1-1.
That's that adjustment right there, Buster. He went straight to the video after he struck out looking, never took the bat out of his shoulders in his first at-bat. In this at-bat, he comes out more aggressive, understanding what to do, hitting the ball to right center field so he wouldn't roll over to get that double play.
On a slider, too, at 82 miles an hour, so that was impressive.
Here's Heim. Garcia dives back safely to first. What a moment for Wyatt Langford in his first game. He delivers an RBI. The team has been celebrating him all spring, and now another reason to do so. Big swing there from Jonah Heim. He was sporting his Gold Glove catcher's mitt pregame. We got a chance to talk with Jonah.
So Jonah worked his way to the big leagues. Spent parts of 6, almost 7 years in the minor leagues.
Tale of two tapes, right? Wyatt Langford quick to the big leagues, and Jonah Heim paying those dues.
You're talking to him before the game. He's got a great feel for catching. How to absorb all the information, follow the scouting reports, follow analytics, but also make adjustments on the fly and trust your eyes and your gut. It's never been harder to catch in the big leagues. All the responsibility that goes with it.
What did he say? He has about 6 or 7 things he's got to read before each game.
Absolutely. Not only do you need to know your own pitching staff inside and out, you've got to understand the weaknesses of all the hitters as well.
Their bullpen was balky at the end of the year. They improved it. He said every one of them had a very, very good spring. Steele walks off the mound, having given up the first run of the game. Wyatt Langford, welcome to the Bigs. He delivers with an RBI. Texas won, Chicago won, and a whole bunch of high fives for the kid. Welcome back to opening night baseball here on ESPN. Our telecast tonight is presented by Scott's. Feed your lawn, feed it. Globe Life Field, the old ballpark, still stands right across the street from this one. So you drive in to Arlington, you see Jerry's World, and you see these two big ballparks. And a reminder, T-Mobile customers get free MLB TV redeemed by April 1 at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Eovaldi takes the mound in a new ball game, tied 1-1. See in the upper part of our scoreboard too, win probability, which we will now display between the fourth innings and the rest of the game, and it shows a slight edge to Texas. That basically is based on history. It's kind of a look ahead by using a look back. They take all the games and situations that are modeled, apply it to this game. There's some consideration to ballpark factors, etc.
Home team.
Exactly, home team. Fluctuate a little bit depending on the time of the batting order that's coming up in a particular inning, but right now it's 52-48, which has Bode scratching his head. Like, Rip, how do we get to 52-48?
Yeah.
How'd we land there?
27 years of manager. I doubt he's thinking about win probability. He's got his own win probability in that 8 1/4 hat.
8 1/4 hat. Buster wrote a great story on ESPN.com after the series clinching out for the World Series. They were passing hats out. He was getting pretty fired up. They didn't have one his size.
It's not like it snuck up on him.
Another strikeout, back-to-back punch-outs going back to Dansby. Last inning, and now Bush to start, and that is his second. 1995. Randy Smith, who hired him there in San Diego, and he'd been on Boch for a long time with Tal Smith, and then it was Randy who said, if I ever get a chance, man, I know who my manager's going to be, and he brought Boch along. Boch got to the World Series with the Padres, lost to the Yankees, then of course with the Giants, he won 3, and here he is now in year 2. But Chris Young knew the exact same thing when he became the guy in charge who he wanted to manage this team. Could things have gone better for the Rangers? Like, seriously, they spend a lot of money. They hire Boch. Evan Carter comes out of nowhere. Josh Sborz has a miraculous finish, and they end up winning the World Series.
Yeah, Carl, I'll never forget that scene. It's within 3 minutes after they won the World Series, and all the players are celebrating and hugging each other, and they're handing out the championship T-shirts and hats. And Boch kept on grabbing the pile of hats, and you just see him getting more and more angry, like, this doesn't fit, this doesn't fit. And the one he finished with looked like a beanie.
Boy, Eovaldi gets cornered a swing and miss at one that was way down. That splitter starting to work more effectively for Eovaldi.
He's starting to elevate that fastball. And once you start elevating that fastball as a hitter, you start seeing things in a bigger dimension, and you start chasing a lot more out of the zone.
It's kind of classic Nathan Eovaldi. He's gone from the fire thrower, the flamethrower early in his career, could throw it over 100 miles an hour, to now a real pitcher. Really unpredictable out there. Movement, balls diving, sinking, the splitters, fastball still in the upper 90s.
5-0 in the postseason last year, 6 starts, they won them all. And that one is going to be a hitch by pitch, so he's going to take first base.
Weeds, I have you surrounded.
Take your lawn back!
With Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action, it gets 3 jobs done at once. Kills weeds, prevents crabgrass, and keeps it growing strong.
Get a bag of Scott's Triple Action today. It's guaranteed.
Feed it, lawn. Feed it.
Why even try?
No. Mikasa, Sukasa?
No. we lost them.
No.
Nico wasn't moving much. He got that protection.
Yeah, the old elbow guard.
Square.
Barreled that one, right?
1 out, 1 aboard. 0-1 to Nick Madrigal. Nick, too, had a mild hamstring strain during spring training. be interesting to see how Council uses Madrigal this season with Morel, who clearly is an offensive force, and they're going to continue to work hard with him to play third base. Tough up the middle now with Swanson, and certainly at second corner. Think about Wyatt Langford coming out of Florida. You think about Madrigal and the college career he had. And ask Bochy, Eduardo, if there's a significant difference between the players that come out of college versus the high school player. And of course, Evan Carter was a high school player who came with such maturity, but he did liken a lot of the high-end collegiate programs to the major league experience, which helps these kids quickly acclimate to the majors.
100%. And the biggest difference, especially when you play in the ACC or the ACC, or the Big Ten, it's about the technology. You have that technology there. You know how to use it to your advantage. The analytics, you know how to read it. You're very exposed to it.
1-2 on the ground. Young. Oh, short hop. Simeon. Oh, he short hopped that throw. Couple of short hops and a pretty double play. Started by Young and finished at first by the glove of Duran.
Talk about giving him the mic and making sure that you're sure-handed at third base. What a double play.
With Rangers manager Bruce Bochy, Wyatt Langford drives in your first run of the season. What have you learned about him this spring?
Yeah, more than anything, just how he has that sense of belonging out there. He's just comfortable. First and third, big at bat there, and he got it down with the fly ball. He's just a ball player.
All right, your players will see the championship rings for the first time tomorrow. You're one of the few who've been able to see it so far. Give us a scouting report.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I told these guys, enjoy it tonight, tomorrow. You know, we got to focus on winning, but at the same time, you got to take it in. And when they see that ring for the first time, it's going to blow them away. Trust me.
Coach, thanks. Back to you.
Buster, thank you. And that is a ringing double from Ezekiel Duran at 100 miles an hour to lead off the bottom of the fifth.
How about the Texas Rangers? Second time around the lineup, they have gone up there swinging the bat, and Ezekiel Duran continues that trend. 22 pitches have been thrown by Steele. They've swung at 18 of them.
First pitch on the way to Carter. He does not offer at it, and it's ball one. Yeah, every Ranger swung at the first pitch the second time around the lineup, and that train stops with Carter, the left fielder, who last year demonstrated an amazing eye at the plate and terrific contact within the strike zone. A little blooper, and it is foul.
No, it's not really surprising stylistically when you talk about the offensive approach of the Rangers. They're kind of following the lead of their best player.
Seager.
Seager's showing you the way. Sometimes the best pitch to hit is the first one.
1-1 on the ground. Fielder, they'll go to third. And Madrigal makes a nice play, and now the rundown with Duran. He will get tagged out, and no advancement from Carter. He'll stay at first.
And one, that's bad base running. Even though the ball's hit behind you at second base, you have to know where the shortstop is. And Ezekiel Duran is shaking his head, saying he should have known better. Right there, Dansby Swanson is there. The ball's hit hard. You have to go back to second. Now that you don't, you're in no man's land. The high IQ of the guys up the middle in that defense for the Chicago Cubs pays dividend. One went to Vanderbilt, the other went to Stanford, and they threw it to the third baseman that went to Oregon State. Pretty good.
A push bunt here. Steele gloved it and flipped it in time. Boy, a snow cone, and this is bad news. Steele is down, grabbing at his left hamstring.
Ugh. Could sense that he got caught in an awkward position going after that ball. But man, that is just an awful sight.
We'll take another look at it. Taveras pushed it. It looked like it was a bit of a snow cone, and then obviously an awkward step, and he is very, very upset.
Yeah, he grabbed it immediately.
Terrible blow here to the Chicago Cubs. Their ace Justin Steele injured fielding a bunt. Coming out of the game, and we're going to have time here for the Cubs to allow their arms to get loose in the bullpen. But the bigger concern, obviously, is on that guy right there, Justin Steele.
See him almost immediately grab the back of his leg. It's hard to speculate when we don't know up here, but I'd certainly rather have a hamstring injury than a knee injury, obviously. The fact that he walked off on his own and grabbed the back of his leg, to me, is better than grabbing your knee.
Guys, this is a major blow for the Chicago Cubs. You have your #1 pitcher holding that hamstring, and not a lot of depth in that starting rotation.
We'll take a break here. We're at Globe Life. Steele is out. Buster will get an update as soon as he can. Julian Merryweather is in now for Chicago. bench and went down the tunnel to see how Steele is. And on the mound now, Julian Merriweather, who had a terrific year last year in 69 games. Through 72 innings, his strikeout rate was above average. His walk rate was as well. But the Cubs took a flyer on him in January before last year. He's a 31-year-old then. Came from the Blue Jays. Put up good numbers, but this is a bad situation for that guy right there, Craig Counsell, with a thin starting staff. Keep our fingers crossed that the injury to Justin Steele is not serious, and Buster will do his best to get an update.
Just not a lot of experience in that starting staff for the Chicago Cubs. See another look at the injury.
That sacrifice pushed Carter down to second base. Semien watches another one sail out of the zone, and Merriweather's come in and thrown 3 straight balls. Corey Seager on deck in a 1-1 game here in the 5th. And Semien, green light, 3-0.
I love that. Veteran manager right there. And he knows his #1 guy, Marcus Semien. Not afraid to swing that bat.
Such a good fastball hitter, middle in too. Looking to do damage.
Ball 4, 2 on, 2 down, and the dangerous Corey Seager coming up. Merriweather is tall, and he's dealt with a whole bunch of injuries over the course of his career. The biggest at bat of the game so far right here. Seager swings again at the first one. 86 miles an hour slider, but he fouled it off. A 1. That's foul. 0-2. Mentioned that there really wasn't a pitch that Corey Seager didn't like or didn't have success against last year. So as a pitcher, you know that information going in, right?
You do, and he also puts tremendous pressure on the pitcher from the first pitch on, as we talked about before. A lot of first pitch hacks tonight. He does damage on that first pitch a lot.
He's so quiet with the bottom half that it allows him, as soon as he has that recognition of that pitch, to be able to fire that bottom half and throw those hands at the location of the ball.
Two on the 1-2. Seager on the ground, diving stop, and that Gold Glove infield pays off again. What a play by Nico Hoerner to take one away from Seager and keep the score 1-1. Steele out with an injury. An update is coming up. We'll have Gomes, Happ, and Suzuki. But it's Hoerner right now who saved the moment for the Cubs. Terrific. Some headbanging music between innings, and back here things have returned to normal with Eovaldi on the mound. 1-1 game, 6th inning. David Cohn, Eduardo Perez, Carl Ravitch, and of course Buster Olney down on the field. No speculation, no update yet on the injury to Justin Steele. The Cubs ace went to field a bunt and appeared to injure his hamstring and came out of the game. 1-0 from Eovaldi, and that one is high, ball 2. Yan Gomes, then the top of the order, Happ, Suzuki. The other part of that injury, hopefully it's not serious, but if it is, the Cubs' schedule at the beginning of the year is a difficult one. In fact, they don't even play the Central for like the first month and a half. That trips. It's not an easy one, but if they could get through it, it felt like they could then really move forward. An injury to Steele is not going to help. 3-1 as he missed badly outside.
Well, if you're a Cubs fan, you're paying attention to not only this rotation, but the Iowa Cubs rotation in AAA, because you're going to need some of those guys. And they've got some good young arms and some velocity down there as well, so you're going to find out about them.
One of the things about the Cubs, and of course, look, Kyle Hendricks leads to that. Imanaga doesn't necessarily break radar guns. Steele doesn't. The Iowa Cubs do tend to throw hard.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of folks in Chicago who, after the Cubs went out and got Craig Counsell, the feeling was, well, this is the beginning, and now we're going to go start spending some money on free agents. And of course, the name Jordan Montgomery kept popping up. He ends up getting a 1-year deal, as this one has popped up. Seager will move back, and there'll be one out. But instead of ending up in Chicago, Montgomery ended up elsewhere.
It's time for MLB Pitch, Hit, and Run, the official youth skills competition of Major League Baseball. Host a local event by signing up for free at pitchhitrun.com.
Of course, it was Arizona who ultimately ended up getting into the postseason last year, and the Cubs missed by a game. We know where Arizona ended up. On this opening day here in the States, the Yankees rallied against the Houston Astros. Juan Soto made a big throw to gun down a runner late in that game. They rallied from being down and won 5-4. The Pirates ended up beating the Marlins in 12 innings, 6-5. Detroit got a terrific start from a guy a lot of people are looking at as a potential Cy Young guy, and Tarek Skubal. 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, just 3 hits, no runs. 0-2 misses badly away and down. Twins beat the Royals 4-1. Vlad Guerrero had a good day. Toronto beat Tampa Bay 8-2.
George Springer with a home run. No, it was not a leadoff home run. Second at bat.
A lot of confidence coming out of the Blue Jays camp that George Springer figured some stuff out coming off of his frustration of 2023.
Dodgers won behind, of course, Betts and Ohtani and Freeman 7-1 over the Cardinals. The Padres beat the Giants 6-4. Cincinnati got a win over Washington 8-2. Sarah Lang's chiming in. She's the 5th member of our team that Vlad hit one 450 feet, Eduardo.
Yeah, he hit 2 balls today over 108 miles per hour.
2-2 on the way to Ian Happ. And he's gone. Eovaldi with a nasty splitter again. Strikeout number 3 on the night for Nathan Eovaldi.
It's the only pitch that he's got swing and misses on, and that splitter has been a dandy. That's the 4th one. You want a lower spin rate, generally speaking, on the splitter because it allows for it to drop more. 4 inches more than average, and also horizontally speaking, 2 inches more than the average.
A deeper look at that pitch with the K-Zone 3D Plus is brought to you by Sage, official finance software partner of Major League Baseball.
But to your point earlier, you mentioned about Eovaldi and that fastball and the high velocity, no swing and misses.
Yep.
with any of his fastballs.
That one's hard. That's down the line. It's past Young. And Seiya Suzuki pointed towards second base, and he will get there with a stand-up double. Suzuki's first hit of the 2024 season.
That brings a smile to his face. Got to get that first one out of the... I don't know if you can do it in that first game, even better. Cutter stays up. Is able to get it past Josh Young at third.
Greg Counsell told us a great story about Suzuki in relation to Shota Imanaga. He said, I basically asked Suzuki, when you first came here, had you even heard of the pitchers that you were facing? And he sheepishly said, actually, no, I didn't know any of them. You know, when he was asked, why do you think you're seeing this improvement second half of the year and in the spring? Familiarity. Imanaga doesn't know the hitters yet. He didn't know the pitchers, but all of a sudden there's a comfort level and a confidence in that guy.
It's a hard thing to explain, and Eduardo, you know this, and I know it on the mound, and I've seen it with hitters. It's once you get that comfort level going, you just start turning it loose, and that's confidence. And you want to know, you know, how's that lead to clutch or whatnot? The human element is a big part of it.
Bellinger, big swing and a miss. 95, chased it up.
When you stop thinking about it, thinking about where your hands are, or thinking about mechanics, or thinking about the opposing pitcher, and you just start turning it loose and trusting your own instincts, a lot of times that's the formula for success.
As he go back to the fastball on 1-2. Did, but he missed badly outside.
Let's not forget, this is where Cody Bellinger was great last year. Set it after his first at-bat. Every at-bat for Bellinger so far tonight, he's gone to 2 strikes. Last year he hit .279, led all of Major League Baseball in that category. Ronald Acuna Jr. was second at .276.
2-2. It's off the glove of the first baseman Duran. It's a fair ball. Suzuki is in. Bellinger delivers, and the Cubs have a 2-1 lead.
He does not care, and I say this as a compliment because we are so enamored with exit velocity, but with 2 strikes, he's trying to put bat to ball. That's all he's trying to do. Just not rotating, just playing a little pepper with it. Gets that barrel out there, and he gets it right past Duran's glove for that double to drive a run in. He's not trying to strike out, just put the ball in play, old school style, and it's worked for him. Now, it works against him when it comes to exit velocity and negotiation, you could say, but he doesn't care, and neither do the Cubs right now.
It was a great example of it right there, dead on, Eduardo. A short swing, right to the ball, got a cutter that kind of stayed down and in. Standing on second base now.
Postseason hero from last year starts to warm for the Rangers in a 2-1 Cubs lead. Josh Sborz.
Just watch this right here. He's not trying to hit this ball out of the ballpark. He's trying to put it in play and drive in a run. Good things happen when you put it in play. You put pressure on the defense. Pitchers make mistakes and leave it up, you'll capitalize.
Suzuki a double with 2 outs. Bellinger a 2-out double. And Christopher Morel is 2 for 2. Slider misses. All of a sudden the win probability in the upper left shifts towards the team in blue. The Cubs now with a 64% chance to win.
Watch Morel after he takes the pitch. He wants to make sure those hands stay up. He's talking to himself in Spanish. Manos arriba. Keep them up. Gets that bad habit of dropping those hands once in a while.
On the ground, and covering first is Eovaldi, and he is there, and the out will be made as Duran started to take a few steps towards the field bat. Big RBI from Bellinger, followed after the Suzuki double. And the Cubs got a 2-1 lead. ESPN's telecast of opening night baseball, presented by Scott's, brought to you by Walt Disney World Resort, the most magical place on earth. And that right there says Disney. Right outside of Casey's. Not Casey's like Mighty Casey, but Casey's. We appreciate the piano playing to get us back here to Globe Life Field. Tickle him. Yeah. Two best words. It's the 2024 season now underway. We started in Korea with the Dodgers and Padres split 2, and now the first day of the regular season. 2-1. Here's Young. First pitch. Swanson is able to make the play. And how's that middle infield, elite as it is, been tonight?
Love the fact that he kept his feet moving and backpedaling. Did not stop early to try to jump. He was reading it, understood that he got jammed on this one. And watch his feet. Never stop moving right there. Last minute leap.
Yancy Almonte now on for the Chicago Cubs. He was really good with the Dodgers in 2 years there. .335 ERA, 82 Ks, a whip of 114. 83 and a third innings in 82 games. Really enjoyed his time in Los Angeles. Part of that Michael Busch deal, in which was a Jackson Ferris who was sent back. Now, the story of the night is the injury to Justin Steele. Waiting to see if the Cubs will provide an update on the significance of it. Left in the 5th inning, fielding a bunted ground ball towards first. It appeared to be a hamstring injury. Good off-speed pitch with a lot of movement there. A sweeper. Michael Petriello, who does a lot of great work with us, of course, MLB.com, and helps us suggest that the splitter is going to be the pitch of 2024, that maybe you move a little bit away from, you know, the in vogue sweeper. Part of that has to do with the influx of Japanese pitchers too, who throw a lot of splitters.
That's part of it too. And you know, I think what also people were taking note of is that pitches, off-speed pitches that can change planes, that have depth, that dive, especially over the heart of the plate like splitters do, can be great swing and miss pitches. The sweeper is, you see that, I mean, like that one that was just thrown, if it's too far outside, it's not even competitive. So when the sweeper's thrown properly, it kind of stays on the same plane, so to speak, but you better get it off the plate to get the swing and miss.
Dangerous hitter, Adolis Garcia, another one that swept too far out. Almonte in danger of walking Garcia, with Langford, who's got the RBI, on deck. Stays alive. What Garcia did in the postseason last year was David Ortiz-like. I mean, he carried the team offensively.
Really, really impressive, and the fans rallied behind him, and he was hitting pull side, opposite field home runs. Didn't matter where you pitched to him. He was on time.
He's got MVP type talent.
3-2, this one left field, and it is gone. There's the MVP type talent, Adolis Garcia's first this season. 407 feet to left field. They got used to it in the postseason, and they hope to see a lot more of it now in the regular season. We're tied at 2.
Tony, I understand the sweeper is a good one, but a sinker is also pretty darn good, and they just continue to go sweeper after sweeper. And you can track it. That's what happens right there. How much are those shoes glowing right now?
Well, that's a great point about the sweeper too, because when it's left on the plate, it stays on the same plane. And those tend to leave the ballpark off of baseball bats.
Picking up where he left off prior to the injury in Game 3 of the World Series. Adolis Garcia's homer knocks it up, and Langford quickly behind 0-2 after a fastball at 96 and a sweeper in at about 80. On the ground in the hole, Swanson's going to have to throw it quickly. Safe is the call at first.
That's that speed right there that Bruce Bochy was talking about during our meeting earlier. He can scoop, and it's not only the power that Langford has and also the ability to recognize pitches, but he's strong enough and then fast enough to beat it out for his first big league hit.
No replay on a ball that was hit 79 miles an hour, and Wyatt Langford does have his first major league hit. Great call at first base. An RBI and a hit tonight for Wyatt Langford in his first game.
And he hit the bag perfectly, too. The front part of the bag. Nice coaching over there in Gainesville.
Pitching change as Mark Leiter Jr. comes in. He got high fives after his last at bat. He's getting a lot of hugs after this one. Almonte is out, and part of the reason is because this one was out. Adolis Garcia, exit stage left.
Ba la calle.
With a bat flip, and the crowd to its feet at Globe Life. A no-doubter. 407 feet later to the seats, and a souvenir on opening night for the World Series champion fans. Texas 58%, and the Cubs 42 after the home run, and now Langford a threat to steal at first base. Mark Leiter Jr. on. His first pitch is down to Jonah Heim. Rangers feel a lot like they did at the end of last year when they won the World Series. If Aldi gives them a good quality start, the offense gets into the bullpen and they hit. Heim, that's going to go foul. What a night for Wyatt Langford, Buster, huh?
Yeah, a great night for him and a great night for Adolis Garcia. You guys saw when he got back to the dugout and they were high-fiving him. They don't have an orchestrated home run celebration. Early last year, I was asking around about what all the teams were doing, and the feedback I got from one Rangers player was, we don't do that garbage. Like, that does not fit the personality of the team. So they're not coming up with some thing where somebody's putting on a helmet or whatever. They are just playing the game of baseball.
He and Young seem to have like they're working on something.
It has to be authentic. I agree. Buster's right on, dead on as usual. You can't fake that dugout celebration stuff. You know, you'll see right through it. Eyewash. No eyewash celebrations.
Celebration police. They're out tonight. 1-2, good pitch. Heim chased one from Leiter, who picks up the strikeout. The second out of the inning. Mark Leiter Jr. avoids arbitration. Pick up a lot of the middle inning relief. He appeared in 69 games last year.
Well above average on the K rate there. And walk rate right about average.
Ezekiel Duran throw over. Well, you guys played for so many years. I mean, the idea that he was in college and is up here in Texas, it's a lot like what Inky Dinky do, Pete Incaviglia did years ago. John Olerud's another one of those guys. Are you at all surprised at his ability to make that transition?
I'm amazed.
You're amazed.
I'm amazed. Look, this is a guy that only had 4 at-bats as a freshman at Florida. 4 at-bats, 1 hit, and then sophomore and junior year, he goes off. Then he's in the big leagues the next year. You talk about the value of just watching and learning and getting stronger that freshman year to sophomore year.
Oh, it is truly remarkable. Historically speaking, last year at this time he was doing a beer bong at a frat party. I mean, come on.
Well, to be exact, last year at this time, rain out against Florida State. I asked him. And then the beer pong.
Here you go to the opening day rosters. There he is, Pete Incaviglia. He didn't play a game, and they came up here and mashed, hit balls through wooden fences on his way here. John Olerud, 6 games. Langford, 44. Fewest games in the minors or majors by position player to get here. And a 2-1 on the way to Duran. That one is fouled off at the plate. I reached out to Kevin O'Sullivan, of course, our friend and the head coach in Florida. I said, so give me something. Like, what was the most amazing thing you saw from that guy? He said, well, there's a lot. There's a lot. But he remembers in one series his sophomore year, he swung at the first pitch 3 consecutive at-bats, first pitch, and went batter's eye on each of them. First pitch swing, 3 homers. I then confirmed that with Wyatt. No, I don't remember that.
26 home runs he hit that year.
That's the key to his success, yeah. Next.
This guy's playing with his wedding band on. Shiny, too.
So I got a story of that, too. Yesterday, I get off the plane and get on the car rental bus. And an older couple say, are you here for the game? I said, yeah, we have the game tomorrow night. And he introduced himself. We're Wyatt Langford's in-laws. Married to a girl who is a redshirt junior, softball player at Mercer. And they pointed to her. She's on the bus with crutches because she hurt her ankle. The Rangers let Wyatt go home for the surgery early in spring training to be there for her.
Oh, I'm gonna get a ground ball for you guys. That boy, Evo. Man, maybe I'll need to be in my ear more often. That's me. Oh, love those. All right, guys, I appreciate it.
Josh Young earlier tonight, immediately into the upper echelon. So Hall of Fame earpiece microphone wearer with two defensive plays during that inning. As we move to the later stages here, 7, 8, 9, and the Cubs and Rangers in a good one here on opening night, 2-2. Just 9 hits. The big story, the bad story, the injury to Justin Steele. We don't know the severity of it, but the ace of the Chicago Cubs went to field a bunt towards first base and appeared to injure his left leg, grabbing at his hamstring. And it's now a bullpen game. Josh Sborz on for Texas for Eovaldi, and the first guy he gets is Swanson. I asked Bruce Bochy before the game, like, was there one thing that happened on the way to the World Series that surprised you, that you needed to have happen? And he said it was the bullpen. You know, that was a bit of a mess at the end of the year, and this guy in particular. And Bochy's trust in his relievers through the course of the postseason was unbelievable, but Sborz just kept delivering and delivering and delivering.
No, he was the guy who walked out with Bruce Bochy before the game to present the World Series trophy to the fans.
Yep. 2-0 on the ground to third. Young fielded cleanly, and the former high school quarterback throws across the diamond for the out.
Get ready for MLB Pitch, Hit, and Run, the official youth skills competition of Major League Baseball. Sign up for free at pitchhitrun.com today.
Now Michael Busch. 96 with some run on it from Sborz. Part of a very successful University of Virginia baseball program. Of course, the great coach there, Brian O'Connor. Young is playing where Seager usually would. They shift against Busch as that one's in the dirt.
And for a hitter, this is completely different look than Nathan Eovaldi. Eovaldi a little bit more across his body with real big time extensions. Sborz opens up very linear to the plate.
You know, you talked about, Coney, all the technology. What type of in-game feedback, if any, does the technology provide a pitcher?
To provide the pitching coach, who could then provide it to the pitcher and sort of translate it for him. But absolutely, you can get anything from your release point is off a little bit to the axis of your spin being off a little bit. Nowadays,
through an iPad, through what? Where are you getting that information?
Well, they're getting, yes, through the iPad in the back and through the technology, through the Hawkeye technology that's used in every major league ballpark.
3-2. That's a good job by Busch. He turns around that one, and it's going to get into right for a hit from Michael Busch, who's reached base twice tonight with a walk and now a single. Every MLB game live you can listen to, plus watch the minor leagues. MLB Big Inning and available pre and post games. No blackouts. MLB.com/@bat for details. Yeah, a little ice cream going right now. Why is it that Griff and Andy like to put food up every time we do like a promo read or something?
They know us well. Especially with
Pavlov's dog reaction. Like, you see that, you
puts me right back in my game.
trying to check, and it's a 90, and it's called a strike. Ice cream, pretzel. What was your favorite, or what is your favorite? Oh, look at Coney, man. That is a look right now you're giving to that.
That looks pretty good right there.
0-2, he went. Called on a swing from Chad Fairchild. Spores picks up his first punchy, and they're at 2 down.
Big leaguer's pet peeve. A home plate umpire making this call. They're like, please just ask for help. Yes, he did go. But when you're on that plate, you're like, no, I did not. So you go out and look at it on video.
That would have been a double.
Coney's bar for a swinging strike. If he made contact, is it a fair ball? Madrigal down the line, heading over, and it is a fair ball. Bush will step on third. He's coming in, and it is a ground rule double. He will be sent back.
Texas Rangers catch a break here.
Big time.
That ball stays in the ballpark. I think Bush scores easily.
Huge break. Temporarily for the Rangers, as the number 9 hitter Yan Gomes comes up against Spores. Gets ahead with a 90-mile-an-hour pitch down the middle.
Carl, I got an update on Justin Steele. The Cubs are saying it is a hamstring injury, as we suspected, and of course they'll be evaluating it as they go forward.
And Buster, we appreciate that for sure. Oh, and 2, 97 reared back for a little more. Yeah, regardless of the outcome of this game, of course the Cubs would love to win it, but that is overshadowing everything for Chicago tonight, the injury to Steele. 0-2 to Gomes. Swing and a miss, 97 on the black. And a huge break for the Rangers as the ball off the bat of Madrigal crawls over the wall in right. It prevents Bush from scoring what would have been a go-ahead run. So we stay 2-2 to the bottom of the 7th. This is opening night baseball on ESPN. Our telecast presented by Scott's. Feed your lawn. Feed it. Buster Olney and Eduardo Perez, David Cohn, Carl Ravitch. We will be in LA Sunday for the Cardinals and the Dodgers. A couple of big swings in this game. We'll start with Cody Bellinger. Had that RBI double. It took the Cubs' win probability from 47 to 64%. So the one swing was worth 17%. The Garcia blast was up 19%, and it shifted that win probability back into favor of the Texas Rangers. And as we begin the bottom of the 7th, Texas home team's got a 60% chance to win this game. Be part of coverage all season. We anticipate, kind of like the K-zone and the pitch clock, etc., it will kind of blend into the background. Not something we're going to harp on, but it's just something there for the fan at home to take a look at and use any which way you want.
I love it. I mean, there's always one or two plays throughout the course of a game that swing.
Yes.
That have those kind of major swings back and forth.
Well, the truth is, it's not necessarily like the one swing. A lot of times in an inning, like there's a couple of walks that lead to it, and those walks do a whole heck of a lot to add to a team's.
Yeah, they present the opportunity for that kind of win probability added swing.
Bottom of the 7th, this is Evan Carter. He'll be followed by Leody Taveras and then back to the top of the order. Hamstring injury to Justin Steele. So we've seen Merriweather, Almonte, Leiter Jr. He throws the 0-2 to Carter and he misses high and away. Food here. We got the mascot out there wearing the champion's crown. New turf at Globe Life and a huge video scoreboard high above right field. So that one is down and in as well. Think about the two divisions these teams play in: Seattle, Houston, and the AL West. Seattle, really good pitching. Houston, typically well-rounded. This one to right, fairly deep. Back goes Suzuki at the wall. He's right there to make the play. The ballpark holds Evan Carter, the 8-hitter.
Yeah, not a symmetrical track area here when it comes to the wall. A lot of nooks and crannies, and can't give up on the baseball. And Seiya Suzuki did not, first time playing in this ballpark, and he goes back. Good direction, never taking his eye off the ball, feeling the warning track with his feet.
Xotographic, that was a home run in 3 of 30 ballparks.
I thought it was way out of here when he had. We're pretty high up here. You gotta be patient up here in this booth.
Well, the elevator says we're on the 4th floor. I beg to differ.
There's another one ripped, and Suzuki going back, and this time he'll stop short and come back in. The splitter only 88 miles an hour off the bat, and there are 2 down on fly balls to right field. Sunday night, we're looking forward to it. Hope you will be as well. Joining us to watch Nolan Arenado, his Cardinals. They finish up their series against that 3-headed monster of Mookie, Freddie, and Shohei. We'll start with baseball tonight, Sunday night countdown, 6 Eastern, and the game's available on Deportes and ESPN Radio as well. How long did it take you to develop the knowledge of when a ball was hit, whether it was a home run or not? You, Coney, the pitcher, like you knew.
Yeah, there's several factors. You know, the location of the pitch, how it came out of your hand. You almost anticipate it coming. If you hang a slider,
you
like, uh-oh.
Before it gets to you know.
Yeah, uh-oh, I'm in a danger zone there. And then the sound of the bat tells you a lot. The acoustics of baseball are like no other sport.
Semien will walk back, frustrated. Leiter, couple of long fly balls and a strikeout to Marcus Semien, his 2nd of the game. 8th inning ahead. Globe Life Field, ESPN's telecast of opening night baseball is presented by Scott's. Feed your lawn, feed it. Good story on the mound right here for the Rangers. This is Kirby Yates, who last year with the Braves kind of proved that he could be that guy again. So he gets a 1-year, $4.5 million deal. And as he said, I'm coming here confident. His confidence level a lot better than it was last year. And he got a lot of innings last year. 3.28 ERA, 80 Ks, and 60 1/3. Part of the Rangers' fortification of a bullpen that limped down the stretch last year.
Well, if Kirby Yates is healthy, and he says he is, and all indications are that he is healthy, he can pitch. And that splitter is elite.
How about that 93-mile-an-hour two-seamer that had some movement on it? To get ahead 0-2 to Happ. It's the top of the order for the Cubs here in the 8th. Happ, Suzuki, Bellinger. Well, Buster, as we watch the bullpen, you think about the Steele injury. We talked about there's just not a lot of depth for the Cubs in their starting staff. You look over your shoulder there. The Rangers have a whole bunch that's ready to come back soon.
A lot of reinforcements they will get back during the season. For example, Max Scherzer starts this year on the injured list, but Chris Young, their head of baseball operations, announced yesterday that he's not going to be put on the 60-day injured list, which suggests he could be back sometime maybe May 15th, May 25th range if all goes well after his offseason surgery. They're going to get Jacob deGrom back around August 1st, Tyler Mahle about August 1st. Michael Lorenzen, they just signed. He has a stiff neck. So there is a lot of starting pitching depth coming for the Rangers.
And it's quality depth, obviously. If they come back, it's quality depth.
Well, getting Max Scherzer back that soon is really a huge lift. There's a lot of uncertainty around his surgery on his back in the offseason.
That was the same type of surgery that David Wright had, and he claims that he still feels it to this day. But this guy's a different beast. This guy wants to be out there. You have to listen to your body. It's not like he's 30 years young.
On the 2-2. That one is low. He missed with a splitter. A couple of pitches ago, we thought he had a strikeout.
Yeah, Max was excited about how he felt after the surgery. By the way, he's also excited about the ring ceremony tomorrow because, of course, the Nationals ring ceremony in the spring of 2020, because of COVID, really wasn't. So he's excited to finally get a ring with the crowd and sharing it with the folks who rooted for this team on last October.
So they unveil it tomorrow and they hand them out day after tomorrow on Saturday.
Yep.
We efforted to try to see what that ring looked like, and access denied. Firewall was put up.
Bruce Bochy told me it's more like a trophy than a ring.
Need a wheelbarrow to move it around.
It's like a satellite dish.
The other unique thing about Scherzer, man, he's getting checks from a whole bunch of different teams, isn't he now?
Oh yeah.
Dodgers still paying him. Mets still paying him.
Oh yes.
Rangers are paying him.
Nationals
are still paying him.
Another 3-2 and a foul at the plate, and that one got.
I guarantee he's keeping track of all of it too.
That classic Kirby Yates splitter. And the thing that makes his splitter so deceptive, see Jonah Heim's going to wear that one back there, life of a catcher, is that his splitter's right over the heart of home plate a lot and goes down. And those are the ones that look like a cookie to a hitter.
Big pitch here. This is the 11th one of this at bat, leading off the 8th. He grounds it to second. Semien played it well. Boy, did his defense come when he got to work with Ron Washington. Shortstop in Oakland, and then he got with Wash, and his defense just took off.
When you want to build a championship team, you need unselfish players, and Marcus Semien agreed to go to second base when a lot of people thought, okay, he wants to go back to shortstop. He stays at second base, and it created that opening for Seager.
Yeah, he is the Iron Man of this team. He played every game last year, start to finish. And when your older veteran players sort of set that bar, then the younger guys like Carter and Langford tend to fall in line and follow suit. Rose with the Reds in 75. Garvey, Ripken Jr., the Iron Man. Hall of Famer, the Crime Dog, and Simeon. Every game, regular season and postseason, for a World Series champ the last 50 seasons. Suzuki victimized by that splitter. You know, now, especially with front offices and load management, and you've got to come off the field. There's certain guys, Swanson on the other side, obviously the Braves do it. Simeon is one of them.
4 kids, too.
Yeah.
This guy is juggling not only on the field, but also when he goes home. Very active.
Had a baby during the postseason last season.
Well, the Rangers hit the jackpot with both him and Seager, signing them to go up the middle.
2-2. This one is playable. Carter keeps coming in. Then he makes the play.
And if you're looking for a pathway forward for a potential repeat for the Rangers, that's the formula. They're up the middle. They're strong. They hit the jackpot. Now they've got the rookies coming. One of them right there, Carter, and obviously, you know, we saw Wyatt earlier get his first big league hit, and the speed and the athleticism, but also the, as Buster mentioned, those pitchers waiting to come back.
2 down for Bellinger. First pitch in there, strike 94 with a 4-seamer.
They get Jacob deGrom back in August with Max Scherzer healthy. Watch out.
And in the race.
Yes.
Yeah. No doubt about it.
But guys, what a division. I mean, the Seattle Mariners are much improved, and they were very good last year. Houston Astros and the Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to identify the toughest division, which for years was the AL East, it's shifted. Both the NL West and AL West are monsters. I think people sleep on the Padres a little bit. You know, they let Soto obviously go to New York instead of keeping him there, but the deal they made was good. Their starting pitching with Cease, King is as deep as anybody's. You know, they're sort of Seattle in the National League with their starting staff. They got to win today.
They got 4 potential starting pitchers from the Yankees in that deal for Soto.
Right.
Including one of the best prospects, the minor league pitcher of the year last year, Drew Thorpe, was in that deal. Along with Michael King.
Soto had a very, very productive big game today for the Yankees, and their come from behind win on the Astros. 2-2 outside, 3-2. Now, I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a phenomenal year of baseball. I just think that there are a lot of really, really good teams, with the Braves sort of separating themselves and the Dodgers. There are some out there a little skeptical of just how good the Dodgers are going to be. That's a heck of a job by Kirby Yates. 1, 2, 3 they go. Win probability seesaws back and forth. And now it's advantage home team. The World Series champs. Creed. Sing it. Adolis Garcia celebrates that big home run, first of the season, picked up right where he left off from last October with the 22 RBIs and all the homers. Ranger fans, Ranger teammates getting used to it. And here comes the bottom of the 8th inning, with Hector Neris now on the mound for the Chicago Cubs. A 1-year deal, team option for 2025. He's durable, he's reliable. And the Northsiders, certainly towards the end of the year last year, like the Rangers, they needed some bullpen help. Good start for the Rangers. Seager jumps on the first pitch, and he will put the brakes on at first base. Corey Seager aboard his first hit of 24.
And you get that little belly laugh because Corey Seager has never met a first pitch that he does not like, and he'll swing at it and gets on base with it. And Hector Neris, welcome to this ball game.
The chore is challenging for Neris. Seager aboard, Young followed by Garcia. Rangers trying to complete this comeback. Big swing, and he fouled it off. But you can see what Seager's leadoff hit in the bottom of the 8th does to the win probability. They've shot up to 70%. Young jammed, slow roller. Can they turn it? No, they can't. And it gets into the dugout. He's going to get second base.
Yeah, Nico Hoerner not too happy with himself. That's one ball that he just has to hold and just play it like a first baseman at second. Not hit hard off the bat. Madrigal gives him a good feed. But this is one you put in your back pocket. Try to rush it. No chance. Michael Busch, a little bit more experience to just try to block it, keep it in front of you.
Exactly.
E4, Garcia, big numbers against Neris, 3 for 8 in his career with a homer. Swings at the first one, and he got fooled with an 82-mile-an-hour splitter. And Adolis calls timeout. Neris at least 70 games in each of the past 3 seasons. And in fact, if you go back to 19, that guy right there leads the majors in outings, 3rd in innings and strikeouts with 370.
Neris has to be smart here. 1-1 count. Already with a home run, you go up and in here. No need to try to challenge.
First
Garcia.
base open, Langford on deck.
You got Wyatt Langford on deck. Rookie has never faced Neris. And then you have Jonah Heim, left-handed switch hitter. And Neris has that splitter that's the equalizer, and it's really effective against lefties.
Garcia with a home run and a single tonight. Good pitch, down and away at the knees. Paint by numbers, filled in the corner. What a job there by Neris. Elevated with a fastball to get Garcia.
I look at this as a hitter. He's looking up right now at the board saying, wait a second. I thought he was going to feed me the splitters. He goes fastball, sinker, down, and he's like, okay, here comes the splitter. Fastball 93. Looks more like 98 perceived velocity because you're looking for that soft splitter up in the zone. You chased.
The beautiful part of the game of baseball is it tends to find you, and what an opportunity for Wyatt Langford in his major league debut here in a tie game in the 8th inning. Already with an RBI, already with his first hit. Against one of the tougher relievers in the bigs the last couple of years.
That's a great take. That right there, you have to be looking 1-0. fastball, and he recognizes a split and he takes it.
Tony pitching around the rookie.
Is that what this is? Is this the sign of respect here?
Definitely showing him some respect.
Tell you this, I give him the green light though. Give him that confidence.
Madrigal is coming in from third base, calling time. I'm not sure if he, I think he was getting a signal from the bench to walk that guy. He was trying to relay it to Neris, so they intentionally send the Florida Gator down there to first.
That's impressive right there. This is your big league debut.
Yes. And I think you hit the nail on the head, Eduardo, in terms of the splitter of Neris matching up with the lefty swinging Jonah Heim here. Might be preferable from the Cubs' point of view.
Young is the go-ahead run at second. You see the numbers in his career, 1 for 8 with a strikeout. And no, he just missed.
This is a pitch right here that he has to throw the splitter now. 1-0 for a strike. Can he do it?
Not a play. Heim was an all-star in 2023, had 3 home runs in the playoffs. He started every one of the postseason games behind the plate for Texas. On the ground. And an easy play for the Gold Glover, and that will do it. They appeared to pitch around the rookie to get to Heim, and he used the splitter to get the ground ball to the 9th on opening night in a 2-2 game. Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, go to playball.org and follow @playball on X, Facebook, and Instagram. You can be part of the action like never before. Cast your vote for the MLB Player of the Game. Voting will open. It's already open after the 6th inning of every game at MLB.com/POTG. Terms and conditions apply. Leclerc, the closer, is in a tie game at home 2-2. And a really good matchup against the cleanup hitter Christopher Morel. 2 for 3 with a triple and a single. Off speed away. became the reliable guy. He and Spores down the stretch, and Leclerc fires, and he gets the call off the plate.
2 tough calls from Morel, who has only seen 1 fastball out of the 11 pitches that he's seen all night. Everything has been down and away to him.
Unbelievable pitch, right on the corner, outside slider. Nibbled, and then took a bigger bite of that cake.
Morel knew it too. He just turned around and walked out the batter's box. I mean, just perfectly located, down and away. We saw several of these sweeping sliders in this at bat. A lot of them swept right off the plate. That one just nicked the corner.
Now Dansby Swanson. 96. Alzolay is warming in the Cub pen. Swanson on the ground. Young stayed down on it. There are 2 down.
Plays a smooth third base, doesn't he?
And that was vacuum over there, right? Once it got in the glove, he kind of held it for a second.
Just under control, sets his feet straight over the top. 4-seam to first.
Not that he's going to make a habit of it, but he may make a habit of kind of not participating too much in spring training. And to make it an impact once the regular season starts. Leclerc comes way inside to Bush.
They've been pounding Bush in all night. First it was Steele. Excuse me. First it was Eovaldi, and now Leclerc.
He goes 96 and then drops a 91-mile-an-hour cutter in. He's got the first 2.
It's almost got a starter's repertoire out there. 3 different pitches he can show you.
Exactly.
Almost 4 pitches.
2-1 on the way to Bush. Late swing there, an 88 diving changeup. Dealt with a neck issue for a lot of the second half of the season, end of the season, Leclerc. He too performed so well in the postseason. It all came together for Bochy's group. 2-2, 2 down in the 9th of a 2-2 game. A little high. Missed away, and that's going to be a walk to Bush.
I wear a few different hats as CFO. You know, sometimes it's referred to as Chief Fixing Officer.
Whatever hat CFOs like Imran need to wear, Sage has tools and insights to help them knock it out of the park. Sage, helping business flow.
Hyman Leclerc discuss Nico Hoerner. The Oakland, California born second baseman for the Chicago Cubs. Looking for a little 9th inning magic. Both of these teams had under 500 records last year during the regular season in extra innings if we get there. They'll throw behind him and safe. Hyman and Duran on that same page to set up that play, but Bush was able to get back.
Bush way off of there, anticipating that ball in the dirt. And Heim just picks it and fires it down there.
The first time he saw it, it felt a lot closer than the second time.
Yeah.
It wasn't close.
One thing the Rangers do know is that Nico Horner is a very good fastball hitter, especially 95 plus. Leclerc's fastball's been clocked tonight at 96.
Leclerc is off with that one. Look at the list you're on there with Acuna Jr. and Bobby Witt. 175 hits, which led the team, and 40 bags. 43, 49, and then 73, of course, for Acuna. He gets the call on what should have been ball 4.
There's your proof.
Oh, he wanted that one back. Middle away.
Carter, Taveras, and Garcia all deep in the outfield to prevent one getting over their heads. Check there. Heim and Leclerc are wondering what the call was.
Right to the borderline.
Almost very similar to his last at bat where he couldn't hold.
One of the things as Maddox comes out to talk to Leclerc that a lot of people think this year the adjustment that the teams will make, will see more stolen bases for a guy like Horner. Do you believe that to be the case? And what other changes do you anticipate as we begin the season?
I think, you know, the whole stolen base debate has been centered around for years the success rate. And last year the success rate was way up because of the rules changes. And I think some organizations feel like they've left something on the table last year, that's a rate, that's a threshold that needs to be taken advantage of. And that's why we're seeing rosters and the construction of rosters gear more towards speed and athleticism, because that's what everybody's looking for.
Pinch hitter Miles Mastrobuoni now for the Cubs. Strike one. That's from Madrigal. Ahead 0-2. And the ball get away, and here comes the runner. He's going to be safe. Did he think it was fouled? Heim is talking to the home plate umpire like it was a foul ball.
Jonah Heim the entire time thought it was fouled.
He is pleading his case right now to Chad Fairchild. He can't believe it. Watch if the ball changes direction at all.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. That's a foul ball, and they didn't call it.
Oh, yes.
That was a foul ball. They call it a pass ball officially, and a steal of home. What a bizarre way to grab the lead 3-2.
Heads up also by third base coach Willie Harris to keep him going.
Exactly. That was great base running. Aside from the blown call, it was a foul ball. Jonah Heim kind of got caught pleading his case here, but right here, Eduardo, to your point, great read. That's all on him. Bush, outstanding job right there.
Tremendous job, and he watched Heim pleading his case. He wasn't going after the baseball. He was yelling at Fairchild. It was a foul ball. Here's one to center field on a line that's caught. Well, the break shifts to the Cubs on a ball that was clearly foul. Bruce Bochy didn't come out, wasn't reviewable, but here it is again off the bat of Mastrobuoni. Ball changes direction, and while Heim is pleading his case, Bush is touching third and home. Cubs are on top. A 3-2 game. Leclerc, Bochy, and certainly the guy there in the back, Jonah Heim, still smoldering a little bit. And again, the foul tip at the plate is one of those plays that's not reviewable. And we'll show you the replay again. When Heim pleads his case initially with Fairchild, the umpire shakes his head and says no. No, no, no. And at that point, the catcher's right, got to go get the ball. Jankowski's the pinch hitter, lead things off, and Alslay's first pitch is down and away. Mastrobuoni is at third base. Alslay on the mound. Jankowski 2-0. You got to be careful here because this guy could absolutely fly too if he were to get on base. What's going through his head right now, Eduardo, do you think?
Well, he's looking at the video right now, but he's processing it, saying, probably telling himself, why not? Why did I not go after that ball once Fairchild told him it was not a foul tip?
Your instinct is to sell it. Hey, wait a minute. You know, that's your first instinct is to sell it. That's a foul ball. What are you talking about?
2-2, and you would know something about that.
Yes, I would. I definitely would.
Selling it.
Yes.
But they're not buying. You gotta then change the sales pitch.
That's why I give Bush a lot of credit, because he didn't really hesitate. I'm not sure what the third base coach was saying to him there, but it was all on Bush. As he took the chance, he rounded. Excellent base running too, to take advantage of that play.
Down a run, 3-2 to the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the ninth. And to right field. Suzuki watches it. Pinch hit, home run. Game tied, Travis Jankowski. Wow.
Last year, Travis Jankowski in the postseason hit one right to the warning track, and he thought he had one. And it was taken away from him. This time he made sure in his first at-bat of the season. It's a big one. It's a game-tying home run in the bottom of the 9th inning. Short, bat head goes out, and as soon as he hit it, he knew it.
11th home run of his career.
Are you kidding me? Opening day, you come off the bench.
He had 1 home run last year. He didn't hit a home run in 22. He had 2 in 21. A shocker from Jankowski to tie it off Alzolay.
You talked about how Garcia feels like he didn't miss a beat from last October. Well, it was Jankowski, of course, who stepped in for Garcia in that last game of the World Series and contributed to the win.
Wildly popular here in Texas with the Rangers and their fans.
At one point, Jankowski was Buck Showalter's favorite player, the New York Mets. So good when you have veteran guys that know their roles on the bench, and when you bring them out, they produce.
Two to Carter. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and another big-time threat to run if he gets on. Jacob deGrom having a good laugh with Travis Jankowski. Big pitch, 3-2. Missed, and Carter is aboard.
Watch this pitch cut right into that bat head. Choked up, pulled that Marucci through. 5 to 6 rows up.
Down and in, off speed, right to the barrel of the bat.
The big issue for the Cubs right here is if you look at the lineup the way it's set up right now, it guarantees Semien an at-bat with Seager in the hole. That's not what Craig Counsell wanted.
Let's go back to the play in which Chicago grabbed the lead. They scored that now, not a pass ball. They scored it a wild pitch. It's 3-3. Tavares squared. Carter stayed put.
First thing I look at here is the hitter and the feet in the box. Tavares always hits in the back of the box. If he scoots forward, he's in that position to open up the field a little bit more for the sac bunt.
The 1-0 from Alzolay. He did try to punt it,
but he stayed back. He has to move forward. The bat angle was not good. Sacrifice bunt, you have to get closer to the field. You open up the lane a lot more. Tavares still deep in the box.
3 sacrifices last year. Tavares, he pulls that foul. Carter was moving.
It's an art that's been lost in this game. Watch how deep he is in the box. You want to have that right foot up on the line.
Carter doesn't go on a 1-2, fouled back.
So Craig Counsell, as you guys know, is very self-deprecating. We asked him about his reputation for being a great handler of pitching staffs, and he kind of shrugged it off and said, no, you know what? He always had someone to take the 9th inning. Josh Hader, Devin Williams. He said, I only really had to manage 8 innings.
In 7 years, he said 8 innings.
The 1-2, this one to left field, and it should be playable. And it is. Carter retreats. So a lot's happened here in the last 20 minutes. This is how the Cubs grabbed the lead on a ball replay showed was foul but wasn't able to be reviewed. The home plate umpire insisted to the catcher, I didn't hear it or see it. He didn't go get it, and Busch scored the go-ahead run for Chicago. And then in a pinch hit roll, Travis Jankowski leads off the bottom of the ninth with a rare long ball. Here's Semien. Strike one, top of the zone.
The part I enjoyed after I finally saw it here from the center field camera was Mastrobuoni actually just giving a giving me just a pat, saying nice going, knowing that he fouled that ball off. He played it off nicely as well.
Adbert Alzolay. 1 ball, 1 strike. Speedy Carter off first. Back he goes. '22 saves last year. What a show these two teams are putting on opening night here in Texas. Not going. Right field. Charging. Got it. Double play. Carter got fooled there. He thought it was going to die, and it doesn't until it ends up in the glove of Suzuki.
Big mistake with Seager on deck as well.
Missed opportunity there. Couldn't get the bunt down, and then get doubled off on this play.
Extra innings. March Madness continues for the women. It's been unbelievable. The audiences on television have been massive. Sweet 16 matchups. Oregon State, Notre Dame will tip it off at 2:30. Indiana against South Carolina. NC State squares off against Cameron Brink and Stanford. That one at 7:30. And then the night will be capped off by Gonzaga and Texas. The women's Sweet 16 matchups tomorrow at ESPN and the app. The numbers last year, extra innings, not great for either team. Cooper is pinch hitting now for the Chicago Cubs, and the first pitch slider from the new pitcher David Robertson. Jankowski's moved to center field. Jared Walsh is at first base defensively for the Rangers. So Jankowski in center, Walsh at first, and the veteran Robertson behind 1-0 to Cooper with the runner at second base to start extra frames. Inside corner for a strike.
David Robertson is solid as ever. Last year, great numbers, well above average with that 29% strikeout rate.
Mastrobuoni is the runner at second.
about Robertson and all his experience. You know, he's one of those who obviously didn't come up through the minors with the runner on second base. He's dealt with all these different scenarios. Here he is coming on in the 10th of the tie game, and he's looking over his right shoulder, and there's a runner out there, and he didn't do anything.
Good block there. Runner at second base. Nicely done by Jonah Heim.
Cooper hits for Gomes in the 9th. Happ's on deck. Good pitch, and Cooper knew it. Strikes him out. Does Robertson is one down.
Got a new little wrinkle in David Robertson's repertoire here. More of a two-seam fastball. He's noted for that cut fastball. This one's got the backup action on it. You can see there. That's a new little look from him.
That wasn't on the scouting report.
Now Happ.
That's more of his normal fastball movement, a cutting action. You know, Robertson spent years with Mariano Rivera with the Yankees learning that cutter, watching Mariano throw his cutter, and David Robertson's always had that natural cut action to his four-seam fastball.
Good guy to hang around with, learn a little bit from. 1-0 to Happ. 2 balls, no strikes with Seiya Suzuki on deck. The Cubs have led this game 3 times, and the Rangers have answered every time. Twice they did it in the bottom of that same inning.
And twice via the home run.
Speculation. Do you think that Carter might have forgotten how many outs there were? We don't know the answer, but just was going, thought it was going to get down?
I thought he thought it was going to get down.
Did you?
But you have to know the situation. You have Seager on deck. Go station to station. That'll come with experience.
3-1. Mastrobuoni, the lead runner, is off second. That is ball 4. This was the double play ball that ended the inning with Simeon up, and Carter's going. And at that point, you saw him give a look, and it's a bad feeling.
You may be right, Carl. I mean, the way he broke immediately and did not hesitate makes you wonder if he lost track of outs.
Here's Suzuki. First pitch from Robertson, bites the corner.
Usually guys that are on first base, when they lose track of outs, they just continue running, thinking, you know, it's 2 outs. Why even stop?
Now what a chance for a guy that had a torrid second half and a phenomenal spring. Seiya Suzuki. Gets the call on the outside corner.
Suzuki's always been known for a good eye at the plate. Very disciplined. That pitch was off the plate, and he shook his head.
Chopper to short. Seager will have 1 play, and that is to first base.
Decision time right here for Bruce Bochy now. With Bellinger up, first base is open. Do you go after Morel and walk Bellinger here?
What do you do?
I put him on.
Yeah, see, I would disagree with that. I just speaking from experience, and he's going to do it. I don't like putting a pitcher in the situation the base is loaded. I certainly understand the logic behind it, but just speaking from experience being on the mound, there's a lot more pressure on the pitcher with the bases loaded here, as opposed to a veteran pitcher allowing him to make some pitches against Bellinger and trust him. Now it's bases loaded, no margin for error.
Understood. Morel, all he's seen, every pitch except one, has been a cutter or slider away, and that's all he's going to see from Robertson right now. Let's see if he can make that adjustment.
Bases loaded in a tie game in extras. Send Morel left field towards the line. Just foul.
Slider stayed up.
Home run distance with an exit velo in triple digits, and they're all smiling. One slider, one strike. Does that swing on the slider do something? Does it plant a seed in Robertson's head?
Yeah, exactly. It'll chase you off the plate a little bit.
1-1. Now he works ahead. He threw him with a curveball, kind of a knuckle curve.
I'm telling you, that was just a show-me fastball. Everything else is going to have a little wrinkle on it.
Mastrodone's the third base runner. Happ is at second. Bellinger after the walk. Here it comes. Down and just down at 96.
Another little two-seam fastball. Trying to run back. Just misses down. Wicked pitch.
Two and two to Morel. Popped him up. Walsh makes the play. They leave them loaded, and here come the Rangers. Robinson gives a little slap to Morel, who missed Mr. Granny by a few feet. What a job by the veteran Robertson. It'll be Seager, Young, and Garcia when we come back with a runner at second. Night, high drama here as the Cubs and Rangers head to the bottom of the 10th inning, and you see last couple of times the Cubs grabbed the lead, the Rangers fought back, and everybody, Robertson didn't even look right away.
Is this the sound, Coney, that you're talking about?
Yeah, that had that sound. It had the distance. Better to be lucky than good sometimes.
Yeah, in this exchange at first base, you almost had me. That's the beauty of being a veteran, isn't it, right there?
Yes.
Got all the experience in the world.
Take it and run.
Well, we're watching two terrific managers kind of manage this thing. You brought up the point, Eduardo. He had Jared Walsh on the bench. Instead, he brings Jankowski in. There's Bochy. He goes deep with a home run. And now Counsell presses the button and brings in the veteran they have, the lefty out of the bullpen. It's Drew Smyly. Simeon is the runner at second base. And he's working on his pitch comm and whether that's working for him.
I'll tell you, he's looking at that lineup saying, okay, this is a gauntlet right here. Young, Garcia, Langford. Good luck.
Now, you also know that Seager is so prone to swinging at the first pitch. So what do you as a pitcher do with that information?
Well, a lot of times what that does is scare you away from a fastball that gets a lot of the plate. So you end up trying to throw something off speed, but whatever you're throwing on the first pitch, you're trying to get a strike normally as a pitcher. So either that pushes you off the plate to try to trick him and get him to chase, and then that's a danger zone of just falling behind.
Seager's got one hit. It was in his last at bat. A hit here could win it with Semien at second. Will swing at the first pitch. It moves Semien to third, and the out is made of Seager, and now 90 feet away from winning this game. A swinging bunt there. Taveras couldn't get down. Seager makes contact, and he's got Semien at third now.
Craig Counsell's got decisions to make. He's looking at that lineup saying, okay, who is the guy that cannot beat me right now?
Young is up.
You got Smiley, the veteran, on the mound. You don't have to give in here to Young.
Cubs infield in. You have righty, righty, righty until Hine.
I'll tell you this, though. If Young can't get the job done, I walk the next two.
It's an interesting point because we thought there'd be a lot more of this type of strategy when the rule first came out, where you had the ghost runner at second base. We haven't seen a lot of that.
1 ball, 1 strike. Smiley to Young. Ooh, in the dirt. Good job behind the plate to block it.
I would actually bring the outfield in a little bit more with Semien speed at third. There's no way on a fly ball where they're at right now they can get Semien out at the plate.
2-1. 94 from Smiley. Yelamaya behind the plate now for the Chicago Cubs. Rangers have not led in this game.
Outfield's way too deep, especially with 2 strikes. Young trying to protect.
Another good job by Maya. Semien lurking down there at third base is the winning run. The Rangers are 1 of 6 with runners in scoring position. They have left 7 men on. 3-2. No swing. And a walk to Young.
This is a heck of a take right here. Breaking ball, good job by Smiley to execute the pitch and try to induce the chase, and just a better job of holding back.
Adolis Garcia with a chance to win it. Inside 95. Guess who's on deck?
Yes.
Wyatt Langford.
Yeah, but right now you have the bright shoes in the Berreo time as Adolis Garcia at the plate. This is discipline. He wants to be the hero. And you can feed off it, and he's worked the count to 2-0.
Here's Langford. The infield has moved back a little bit. Could turn a double play. 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes.
Might as well walk him right now.
Here we
go with the bases loaded, and the kid, the rookie, 44 games in the minors, major league debut, opening night. What a spot for Wyatt Langford. Ball one.
The way he took that pitch right there, he recognized it right out of his hand.
But that's the impressive part. You're right. That's the gift that he has, the ability to control the strike zone at such a young age.
Bochy told us before the game, any question about Wyatt Langford making this team? Bochy said coming into spring, I had no doubt he was going to make this club. The maturity and discipline that he has demonstrated, as Buster had said earlier, the coaches have told us, his ability within the game and within the at-bat to make adjustments, to figure out what he did wrong. With his family, his in-laws, his wife in the stands to watch his first major league game.
And he compared him to Buster Posey in terms of his mental makeups and how even-keeled he is in situations like this.
Situations like this, it's why, as our friend Sarah says, baseball is the best. Here we go with a 1-0 from Smiley. Gets the call. Knuckle curve down, but he gets the call to even it up at 1. Big swing there. Another knuckle curve.
That one stayed up.
It's a good pitch to hit, good pitch to drive. You could see Langford kind of breaks down his front leg, but still had a pretty good pass at it.
What does the veteran do against the rookie? Oh, stayed alive. Same pitch, elevated but outside. Langford's a kid who was, when he was 10, after a Little League game, struggled. His dad and mom found him in a barn, swinging the bat, trying to figure out what it is that he did wrong. 1-2, just foul.
Staying with the breaking pitch. Sped him up. That's impressive right there. Out of the zone, up, is able to foul it off. Now he can go back to that breaking pitch if he wants, or he can double up.
Those that followed his minor league career and his college career have seen this situation time and time again, and watched him come through. A high chopper, fielded home. The force is out. They had it out at first if they wanted it, but they get it at home. What a play. Yeah, they weren't going to double up Langford.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Bush made a great play there. Third base, and Mastrobuoni made a great play at third base. Squaring up. Watch him go get the ball.
He only had body. He had only one play. There was no double play to be had on that high chopper, and here is another chance for Jonah Heim. To the seats. Amazing, isn't it, this game? You think about the idea that Langford had a spotlight on him, and here is Heim, who's got a chance to redeem himself.
Yes.
After this play in which he was claiming foul ball, Chad Fairchild said no. It allowed the go-ahead run to come in. They subsequently tied it, but now Heim has a chance at redemption. The infield moves back. And he rifles one to right center. He is going to get the redemption. Heim Heim walks it off. The Rangers win the opener. Baseball. Unbelievable.
Unlike any other sport, Tim Kurkjian always says it. Unbelievable. You don't know who's going to get the ball for the last shot. Comes right back to Jonah Heim.
Oh, that must feel like the mattress, the bed, the house is off his back. Because he was wearing it.
He was.
He was wearing it on the bench after that play allowed the go-ahead run to score. Jankowski homers, ties it, and then Jonah Heim in the bottom of the 10th wins it for the Rangers.
His body language tells the whole story.
Thank goodness, right?
What with the fastball up in the zone, and he knew it as soon as he hit it. First hit of the season, and it's a big one.
There was a bit of a bat flip, and there was a helmet spike when he stepped on first. What a game. Morel misses the granny by a few feet. Heim walks it off as the defending World Series champs improve to 1-0. It felt like a series, the game.
Yes. It was really actually well played until the end when we saw some crazy things happen. But redemption for Jonah Heim.
Robertson gets the win. 5th opening day walk-off in franchise history, and the first in 14 years. What a great start. Look forward to seeing you Sunday in Los Angeles for the Cardinals and Dodgers. For Eduardo Perez, David Cohn, Buster Olney, our entire production crew, Andy Griff, Sarah Langs, Ed Svita, I'm Carl Ravitch. Thanks so much for watching. Rangers win it 4-3 in extras.